Thank you very much for all of you to come here. Actually, first of all, I have to put a couple of disclaimers. This is not about me at all, okay? And inshallah, it's all for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and not for any pride or status that I will be gaining. What I've been talking to you about is, what the talk is all about is to bring you with me through the journey and to listen to the Gaza people. And I think if anything that will be said today, if at one moment will say, I saw this, that means that the Gaza people want you to see it. If I say this is what I heard them or saying, that means they are talking to you through me, inshallah. The title, I chose it because it's a message for everyone, whether you are a Muslim or non-Muslim. I believe that some people here, Chris, good evening, you are here with us, and don't know if many people of non-Muslim, they might be joining us a bit later, but this is a message for everyone, and that's what I felt there, that everything in Gaza speaks to everyone in the world. The second disclaimer, that you need to forgive me. I might be able to hold myself at some moments, but might stop and fall apart at others. So just bear it with me. The third one, which probably the last one, is that if I talk, I will be talking for weeks about what happened there and what I saw and the whole experience. But what I plan to do is, if someone can be the timekeeper, I hope that I can finish short of 7 o'clock, so probably 10 to 7 if we can. Then we can have a bit more time for questions and answers, so then that will be more enlightening for everybody. And engaging in a sense that then you will ask the question and I will answer as if someone from Gaza is answering you. Inshallah, we'll start. Is that okay? Okay, the first one. Inshallah. Bismillah. So this is the preparation, and what I've done with the preparation is this. We have a few people here tonight. I'm just going to try to see how many of you would like to go to Gaza. I know that now it's probably no war, but if it's war or not. That's it. That's what I expected. Most of the people wants to go to Gaza. How would you feel if you had the opportunity? Because I know that none of you will have this opportunity because of the restrictions and the people who are controlling Gaza not allowing any little insect to fly over it without their permission. And how many will be just straight away to the car, straight to the airport, and then fly? Perfect. Same feeling. The thing is that what you need to understand is that what I had in my mind is that no one can get into Gaza by sea, by air, and it's only by land. And even that land is very heavily controlled. What would be the feeling that if you are out of this crowd, say here in Australia we are 35 million and the world is about 6 billion, and it's only a few hundred that they are allowed to go in, and that few hundreds that they go there in supporting these people, how would you feel to be that? You will have that burden on you, that killing you day and night. And whenever you turn to the news, whether on your phone, whether you hear it, whether the imam speak about it, whether you read it in the paper, whether it comes on TV, and you think, I can go there and I'm not going yet, I have not been yet. What is Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and you in your conscience, how would you feel? It is really a burden. And then you get every imam in every Ramadan or a pray, and then even on the phone comes these reels or the recitation of the Quran, and gets to the ayat that the people who Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala condemned, that they are not joining the Rasul alayhi salam or the Sahaba in going to do their share in defending the Muslims at the time. And what will be Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala have prepared for them? You will have every single cell of your body shaking, okay, because you are one of them, because you want to go but you can't go, you have the excuse. But I can go, and I have the opportunity to go, and I haven't been yet. So I've been through this. This is not an easy thing. It's not about me. It's just the message that Gaza give you. The message Gaza give you is a test for everyone. Who can go, who cannot go. Those who can go, they have a huge burden because of these feelings. And everybody I've met there who were there before, who were with me, or the one that were before, had the same feeling. So what did I prepare for? You're going to the war. You're going for this thing. What do you need to do? You need to make sure that your family, your will is there, and then how you're going to be joining the mission. The first attempt, or the first opportunity, because you remember that they didn't open these opportunities until June, July last year, and then they allowed it for a couple of probably 4 missions, and then the truce happened, if you remember, back in December last year, and they stopped it or slowed it down, and then restarted about January, February, and then the war restarted. They stopped for a month, and then the groups started to go through. So it wasn't an easy, like just you go and book, but you need to make the effort to join. So I prepared myself for these things, and alhamdulillah, everything Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wants it to have a sequence that I went through it, and you wouldn't believe it, the will that was finalized just in June, and by then I'm just thinking, are there any missions going? The people are going or not going? Then I spoke to a few people, and they said, yes, we are, but we're not going until probably August, September, we don't know. And then out of the blue, I had a call from one of the organizers. They said, do you want to go? We have a mission 25th of September. I said, inshallah, put my name on. Then you need to prepare yourself now. Okay, what else you need to do? You go through the whole arrangements with them, and they say there is no definite answer that you will be entering into Gaza until the night before that entry. So 25th of September is the entry day. You will not know until Wednesday night, the 24th of September, if you are going to go ahead or not. All right, so what are we going to do? We're going to book you from here. You go to there. We don't want you to be any earlier than Wednesday, because that will change the whole system for the application. You need to enter Jordan on Wednesday, and we will book it for you. Okay, can I book for myself? No, you can't book for yourself. You have to go through us. I said, okay. Then you will wait, you think, okay, is it going ahead or is it not going ahead? Then they go on silent with the whole arrangements, and you don't know if it is still going to go ahead. And then you will go 10 days before, they say, no, we need now security checks on you. Send what passports, send everything from your end, send about a few documents, sign up into some WhatsApp groups, and they start to ask you, have you been to this place, have you been to this place, and you keep answering. And then out of the all of a sudden they book your flight, and you think, now we are going. In the meantime, you need to have, what I felt is that this is what I've been through. You need to purify yourself to go to this. It's an amazing experience. Now you look back to it, you think, how did that happen? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had put that in me? How did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala give you these things to purify yourself and the lead to this mission? I cannot explain it to you. I'm just telling you, this is what it is. This is what I've been through. It really automatically, it was not like something you work with, you plan it, it just happens. Then you go to the airport and then to the plane, and you go through this. Why it's me? Ya Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, it's an invite. We went through that, who can do it? What will be my answer? That's what I was saying to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala if I'm not going. Is it an obligation? It comes this question into your mind, is it an obligation or is it a choice? And as I said, every time you listen to the ayat of the Quran, and it tells you more of an obligation than a choice. What if you don't go? What will be, how you would feel? And I felt that, what if I don't go from the time of June 2024 until the day that I went on the plane, and if I don't go, then and why not? And is it the best time to go now? Why don't I look into the matter in a way? Do they need me now, or they need me when they rebuild? Do they need me now to help them, or should I go in the peace time or the quiet time? You get these questions and these things, and just what I think about it is that now it's just the challenge to see how much you are inshallah doing it for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But these questions, as a human, you get them and you have it, and that's what, when you say Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, make the dua to help you. How are you dealing with your family? Alhamdulillah, this is something I have to share with you, that the time that in April when I wanted to go, and I put my name and did the briefing, and then all of a sudden it was a truce time, and then all of a sudden they started the war again, and they said no more missions, it's all on hold. So at the time the family were not sure, but when fast forward about 5 months later, the family is ready. How did they get ready? I don't know. It's from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The work, I can't tell you how easy it was just to tell the people I'm not going to be there, without disclosing where you're going for most of them. I didn't want to tell many people, because you have this It's very hard when you say to the people, I'm going to Gaza, and they get more excited and they start to talk to you, and you just think, I'm a human being and I'm vulnerable. I just wanted not to think about it. It's for myself, and I don't want you to talk to me as if it's me going. It's Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala trying to send me there. It's very hard. It's very, very hard. These are the things that I went through. It's that you need to put the tawakkul in yourself. You need to put all the frustration is out. And I was saying this to someone while I'm preparing for this talk. We read a lot in the Quran about the people going to the Hajj, and everyone who go to the Hajj will read it a lot of time, trying to get the instruction from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala how you're gonna behave during the Hajj. Okay, anybody hasn't read or heard that ayah? Okay, so we know that in the Hajj you cannot have an argument, you cannot be frustrated, and you cannot be saying, sorry? Yeah, so you can't do anything bad in the Hajj. So you're trying to say, okay, this mission is something similar to that in yourself. How can I train myself? How can I control myself as a human not to be in that? I've been to Hajj twice, and I really don't know when I was frustrated or not, but as a human I can tell you I did have that time, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgive me. With this one, I can tell you from the time that I jumped in the car to go to the airport with my family, it's something had switched off in me. It's this frustration thing as any human. I went with 4 people that I've never met before, and we were 33 people in one bus and another 33 in the other bus. I'm going to talk about the bus that I was in a journey for 6 hours inside Palestine, and about 3 hours inside Jordan, and then an extra 3 hours but in a smaller car with 3 people, and then 2 weeks or 15 days in Gaza, and then out of Gaza until we came to Jordan, to crossing the border. The entire time, and they were Muslims and non-Muslims in the bus, I have not heard any frustration from any single soul. Okay, not a Muslim or non-Muslim. They all in the maximum tranquility from the time we left at 5 o'clock Amman until we crossed the Jordanian border on the 9th of October. The minute we crossed the border, I saw the people started to be frustrated and arguing with this and that about this money or that money, or the taxi didn't arrive, or the people are stranded. The entire time, the entire journey, it is just absolutely beyond belief, right? Would it be a hardship for me to go there? What I'm gonna face? The hardship that you have here, you try a couple of times, you drink in a hot day a hot water, right? A warm water, not cold water. You will immediately think, oh, life is too hard. There you're drinking not only hot water. You can cool it. There is a little bit of fridge there facility, but it is so salty that really you cannot drink it. I can tell you cannot drink it. The minute that you drink it, you just think, wow, this is really salty. It's not. Here, when we came to Adelaide back in 2001, the water was a bit different from Melbourne. That water is completely, again, different. It's completely salty. You don't have any time that you can rest from the bombing that is falling all around you in a distance probably 1 kilometers or 1.5 kilometers. To hear the bombing all the time, it gets you into that mind set of what is happening to me? How can I calm myself? Is that hard or not? I can tell you that hardship, I didn't face it. The water, you drink it without you complaining it, without you think it's a hard on your stomach or on your taste. The journey that we took, I'm gonna be probably skip it because it's really long time. From 5 o'clock until we arrived into the hospital at 11:30. But this photo, I took it because if you see in the distance, I don't know if you can see it, it's there. That is the entry to Gaza. That little gate at the distance. If I can, is that a laser? Yeah. No, that's not working. If you see where the light is there, that is the entry, and you are waiting there for an hour. Everybody looking at that gate, and I don't know what that gate means until we went through it, and I'm gonna tell you what it means in a minute. Now we crossed it. This is after the gate. This is what you get. That border, that big fence is, the other side is Egypt and this side is Gaza. When we went through here, I don't know the feeling that I had, but I didn't feel my heart stayed in my chest. I was like really shaking. And is it true that I'm in Gaza? And it is now happening for me that I am in Gaza. To feel that your brothers are just across the border, okay, and I know you can't see it, but there it's there is a road that is bitumen, and after that there are the armies and the army tanks, and you hear in that dusty and really unmade road. You go further, and then we will start to have. You need to put the helmet and the armor, because now you are entering into the war zone. So that was just a few meters after. Then you need to disembark that bus that we were in, and that's like is now almost 100 meters after that entry and that road, and you jump into this armored vehicle. It is a Land Cruiser. It's fully armored. The door is so heavy that you can't even close it, and the top of that car is that where the transmitter to notify the IOF about your location or the car location, and it's a UN car that they need to be aware of it. This is Karam Abu Salam. This is the crossing of Karam Abu Salam. At this time, you're tired. You are still shaking that you are in Gaza for real. But the disheartening thing is that you are in a place that you feel you belong to, and it belongs to you, but unfortunately you are guarded and you're marked with the UN. This is the first time you think that why this is happening to my brothers and sisters and my belongings. This is me in the helmet. Then you get some signals from your phone, and you check that you are where are you about in Gaza, and the name comes Salah ad-Din, the road for Salah ad-Din, which you all heard about it in the news, how much distractions and how many people died on that road. Then you will arrive into the place that it's called Deir al-Balah, and they welcome you with their finest balah, the dates that they have. That's the safe house where we had that Deir al-Balah. That's when we stayed the first night when we arrived into it in there. You can see this safe house. It was for a really wealthy family there, and you think, where are they now? And the UN is taking that as a safe house, which is at the outskirts of Deir al-Balah. And let's see if we can work this one out. No worries. Okay, so now you're gonna see the real Gaza. So that's my story, and this is what you're gonna be going through with me. I didn't put the night photos first. I thought I will do the day photos. This is on the way out, okay? But then you can see it. But I saw it in the dark, and I didn't want to get you to be disoriented to start with. So this is Khan Yunis. This is the first place where you see some buildings standing after Rafah, but I'm doing it from the other side. So Rafah is completely decimated, and there's nothing in there. And you can see, I don't know if you have the mark, the D9 will run. There's the marks of the D9. They were destroying these houses. I couldn't take a photo of it because they warned me that if you take a photo of it, they might shoot us. So I had to hide the phone. So the D9 goes and destroy. That's a project for them. It's contracted to just keep destroying these buildings. This is on the day of the ceasefire has already been signed, and they still destroying the houses. So they have not stopped. All of this town was standing in the last truce, and which ended in March or end of March, because they wanted to destroy more. This complete suburb is the outskirt of Khan Yunis. This is more of Khan Yunis that is destroyed. Now, I said it's a message for you from Gaza. When I saw this, because you see it as a photo, I saw it in real time. The car or the vehicle was really driving very slowly, very, very slowly. I can hear each of these buildings and each of these bricks that are on the ground talking to me at the time. It was telling me that there are people that they were here and died, and there were people that they were here and now living in a tent, which I will show you. But each of this building and each of these bricks were telling me that even if they get us destroyed, we are proud and we are standing here in a pride and in defiance for this atrocity and for the people who have nothing but the intention to distract human and buildings and anything standing up. So if all this building will be destroyed, if a single brick will stay, it is a defiance for that intention from the people who wants to destroy it. This building, the driver went, because they came from Karam Abu Salim out to us, and they taking us in. He said this building just been destroyed, like in that morning they tried to destroy it, and you can see, you look at it, I know photo doesn't give it justice, but when you look at it, and we stopped at it, I'll tell you why we stopped in there. When you stop at it and you look, we had about 5 minutes. I really scanned every single part of that building, and you think how much in the hand, in the heart of the person who decided to destroy it. Why? It was empty. It's the red zone of Khan Yunis. Nobody allowed to stay there or be in there, yet they wanted to destroy that building just to destroy it. So that's the D9 still working. See how it does the destruction. Just like flatten it and keep doing it, and it just I can't understand why you need to come back and destroy it more. Like it's already bombed, but they just want to flatten everything to make it all there. That's the other thing. If you see on the ground, on the side of the road, can you see the bags of flour and the boxes? This ragged road is the road from Karam Abu Salim all the way to Gaza. About 2.5 kilometers off it, when we first saw it at night and then we saw it in the daytime, is full of flour bags and aid boxes, including medical supplies and other boxes of aid. They all on both banks of the road, on both sides of the road, and for 2.5 kilometers, the car drives even on these bags of flour. And when we asked why this is happening, during the starvation time, they were no food. It went for 3 months, no food and no aids will come. And then when they opened it back in August, the order from the IOF for all these trucks not to have any strapping to hold the aids on the back of the truck. So when they drive, and they have to drive very fast over this road to go and deliver before the intensified bombing happens, so they need to drive very fast. Everything falls from the top of it, and then you will end up, after 2.5 kilometers of it, it basically nothing left on it. It is the most atrocious things. Then when you see piles and piles of it, I mean, there are photos I will show you inshallah in a minute, that there is piles of them, and the aids that they're all waiting and waiting in the sun and in the weather that is not delivered. And that's the exit for it. Now, I'm gonna go a few things is that day by day, because that's the journey in and out and the distractions. I'm gonna tell you how I conducted myself there to help these brothers and sisters and what they have been through while I've been there. So the first day, which is the 26th of September, all the way to the 8th of October. Every day they start the bombing short of midnight, just like 11:30, 11:20, and will go very intense to 3:30, 4 o'clock, and then they will stop for, becomes quiet for half an hour to an hour, and then the adhan comes for the Fajr, and the bombing will start like so heavy. It's just marking it. Then you really cannot sleep. It is so intense you cannot sleep. Then when you go to work, you are tired, you have not slept much, but you are in that situation is that you need to work, you need to provide something, because otherwise why you are here? When you're at work, is not much there to do, to help, because you are with the limited resources, and all what you can do just to comfort them and to choose who will survive. You will choose from the patients that they are injured, whom to choose to take to theater, who will survive. Most of the people who have massive injury that they really need your expertise coming from Australia all the way to there, you say, I know how to do it, but we don't have what we can do it with. We don't have intensive care, we don't have painkillers to keep you alive afterwards, or to keep you out of your pain afterwards so you can stay alive. We don't have antibiotics to give you, and we don't have the right stitches, the right equipment, the right drills, the right wash, the right drape, the right dressing. It does not exist. The sleep, I went through it. The food is that there is food. It opened because the starvation phase has moved. They couldn't break the people with the starvation. Now they're putting the food in, but they cannot afford to buy it and to eat it, because it's so expensive for everyone. So then you feel, do you need to eat like them or to eat for yourself? Then you say, I'm gonna eat just like them, because what you've been through is just too much. The emotions, you think that you are, you think about it in this way. There are people who are with you, say from Canada, from Australia, from America, from Europe, and everybody. They come here to help the people for humanity. You see the people that you are there, you go to emergency department or take them to theater. It is automatic in your inbuilt that they are your brother and sister. How you can treat your brother who is, his guts is out, his leg is gone and amputated, his head full of blood, and his chest is not working. How can you treat your brother in front of you like this? How can you help your sister that you know that she is not gonna make it and she is gasping for air in front of you, and the injuries there is just destroying all of her body? How can you help a little girl that you think of her that she is not only your sister, she's the daughter of your brother who is standing there, and he is saying to you, And he said, look, I really can't help her. We don't have resources. He said, don't worry about it, brother. Don't worry about it. She's going to be in a better place than us. We are here in the worst place. She is going to be in a martyr, and she is going to be in a better place. You just have that feeling going through you. You only go to look into yourself and make the dua for them, make the dua for yourself to keep going. I'll go through the deen and probably just stop there. Then I will open for questions, and then we'll get going with some other things. I was telling the people last night, because they asked me about it, and Professor Muhammad Abdullah, he mentioned it in his Daras that he does on Friday. I stayed for 15 days. The hospital at night becomes a big city. It's a big complex with a lot of yards that is now full of wards and other facilities, but still there are spaces. At night becomes about 5 to 10,000, depends on which night it is, of people that they are seeking shelter there, because it's the only place that has light and is presumably safe, because it's a hospital, although most of the hospitals got bombed, but that's what they feel. And it has a little bit of water and a little bit of sort of comfort. That's what I understood from them. Now, these 10,000 people, they showed me elements of deen I have not seen before and experienced it before. They're in a war. They don't have money. They don't have means. They don't have food. They don't have water. They don't have anything. The bombing is everywhere. I have not seen a beggar. I have not seen someone pushing their hand saying, can you give me anything? That in their deen is we are in the best place here. You can tell their pride of their deen is beyond the imagination of us to say, I might put my hand and I might get a few dollars or a few in their whatever currency, so they can have the means. I have not seen people selling water, and water is so scarce there that it is a commodity that people might not have it for a few hours until you get to a point that they can get water to crush their thirst. And it's really hot, 41, 42 degrees, humid like anything. I have not seen them selling the water because they believe that water is essential for life. We're not going to sell it. They sell food, but they don't sell for water. You cannot buy water. You get the water and people share it with you and give it to you. I have not seen a single non-hijabi woman in Gaza during the 15 days, and I've been up and down, whether it's a worker or a shelter seeking person or anybody there. They all have hijab from the time that they are having hijab and even earlier before that. And every single hijab is a perfect hijab that you can immediately, I've heard it from the TV, I didn't believe it. I thought probably that was early in the war, that okay, they might have said it, that the person said it because just to say it in front of the camera, but I saw it in my own eyes that they all have a hijab as if it's their kafan, that they're gonna die with it to go to be buried and to go inshallah into Jannah. I have not seen, it's 2 years, young people that they will be whatever age of 11, and I looked after a boy that Anas, and I will share the story with you later when we get question and answer, I'm sure. Anas had lost all his family, and he is 10, and he had an injury. He almost memorized most of the Quran. The young ones that you see them, you will think that they are, I mean, even if they've been studying the deen, whether girls or boys, for the last 2-3 years, to comprehend as much as they comprehend, on top of their schooling, on top of their life, running, their kids, they run and enjoy their life. You think the war has now happened, and this despair, and they will revert to what we think about it here when we have them mixing, how they will react. I have not seen a single young boy, whether it's 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, 20, 21 young men and women, they are interacting in non-Islamic way. They are completely, it's not isolated, but this girl or this woman or this young girl or this young woman is here, and the young man is here, has no business with her, will not approach her or talk to her or do anything. Everybody on their own business, minding their business, not to have any of that. And most of them, they have no family, so it's not the family rounding them up, or the mother saying that you can't do this, you can't go there. I have not even seen them leaving the tents that they are sheltering in the hospital. People sleeping while they are sitting in the hospital because there's no place to sleep, or they sleep on the concrete. And I have not seen any nonsense interactions that you can say their deen is not at the highest level. This level of deen, I don't think you learn it from books or classes or teaching. It is something that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had blessed them with it. I cannot imagine that the humans, they can act and interact in the way that I saw it there. The last one, which is I finish with it, is that in the hospitals, and especially in Arab countries, when someone injured come or someone unwell come, an entourage of the whole street and the relatives will all arrive at the hospital yelling and screaming, and they want to know what is happening for that man or that woman of significance or young child. They do arrive, they do there, but they all so much tranquility, and we say it's civil. It's not. It's the tranquility that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bestowed on them, that they don't interact the way that I've seen them and experienced them while I was in Iraq or in Jordan, or just they come yelling and screaming and people pushing and pulling. I have not heard a swear word the entire time, even from the people who are coming to the hospital or going to anything. I had not seen anybody insulting someone who is in the hospital coming with the patient or from the security. I had two exchanges that happened between a volunteer for security a task at the theater entrance, and one at the emergency department entrance, with two relatives of patients. They did raise their voice to a level that raised, but the interaction was, why you want to target me to get me out of here? Why can't I ask about my relative? And the other one is saying, you need to ask. Okay, we understand, but you can't ask now. Please leave the department and we will come to you to tell you what is happening with them. They kept repeating the same thing in a different way to each other, but none of them actually came and grabbed I can tell you, in other locations, they would have the people would have grabbed that security and maybe even punched them or started to do bad things to them. Other places would have destroyed the whole department because they didn't allow them to get in and see their relatives. And then both of them, all what they said, khair inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will bring all the khair. And they turned around. The brother who was coming with the injured people left the theater and the other one left the emergency, and both security, they immediately withdrew themselves and get someone else to come and fill, because they are now worked up. They didn't want to affect someone else. I have not seen this. It's beyond my imagination for that region and for that type of things. Reports that came yesterday, I don't know if you read the advertiser or the things, the level, or the ABC, the level of insult to the health workers here in Australia is at an unprecedented level. Okay, so I can just give you that, and I finish to here, and then I will open for questions, because that will get me from different aspects of my stay. جزاكم الله خير. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له.
Will be the moderator.
خير إن شاء الله. You just need to turn it on, please. Sorry, I turned it off. Yep, this.
Hello. Hello. Yes. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. What an amazing story, Brother Waleed.
Jazakallah.
And I can imagine how hard it is just to go through it. I've heard Brother Waleed another day as well, and it's very deeply emotional. Thank you very much for standing up for our brothers and sisters in Gaza and making this extraordinary effort to go there, help them with the best efforts, with the best skills you have as a doctor, and then be able to come here and share it with us as well. So, jazakallah khair. So I will start with the questions. Anybody has a question with Brother Waleed? Please raise your hand.
First and foremost, I don't think we will be able to thank Dr. Waleed enough. And also, I must say his family also. Thank you to Dr. Waleed and to his family who stood behind him and supported him all the way. I don't think we have enough words to honestly thank you.
Jazakallah.
All we can say, as Rasulullah said, Jazakallah khair, which is the best form of thanks. It must have been an extraordinary experience, emotionally and otherwise. I wonder if you can share with us some stories you faced directly with some of the patients that came to you,
yep,
and some of the sentiments that they expressed, and maybe the emotions and the message they wanted you to share with us.
Yep.
Jazakallah khair.
Jazakallah khair, Professor Muhammad Abdullah. Yes, the stories of the patients are the ones. I mean, I have photos, but unfortunately, they have kids, and I don't want to show them, and I wasn't planning to show them anyway. The first one that really got me is that this young boy Anas. Anas was a 9 years old boy that was playing with his friends. He lost all his family, his mom and dad, and 7 of his siblings, and now is looked after by his uncle, or the family of his uncle. That he was playing outside when the bomb or the rocket dropped, and a few of the kids got injured. Alhamdulillah, none of them died, and he was the one that was the furthest of them and he got thrown by the force of the explosion, and that threw him over, and he landed on his leg, and he fractured his leg, both legs. One of them didn't need operation, and the other one needed an operation. And he was really not crying. I just can't understand why the people there, they have a tolerance of pain that is not really seen. He was not crying, but he was so concerned when we saw him and took him to theater. And I was talking to him. I said, we're going to fix your leg. And he said, I don't know how he tried to put it, but he can see that he was disappointed that he didn't get to be martyr so he can be with his family. So then you try to comfort him and say, look, it's going to be fixed, and it's going to be, and I'm doing this and this, and you will not have pain. He said, it's okay, you do whatever it needs to be done. And then when he woke up and he didn't have pain, again he was smiling, and he said, Alhamdulillah. But you can see in him he was disappointed. He really wished that he was going to be a martyr. Then I went out to see his uncle to tell him that this operation went well. And he said, oh, Jazakallah khair, Dr. Waleed, Jazakallah khair. And he said, you know, he's got the very beautiful voice of Quran, in reciting the Quran. I said, okay, I will go. And he said, maybe not tonight, but come tomorrow. So I went the next day, and he was still not really, from the shock of everything, he's not really ready for it. The second day I went again, and he said to me, I said, would you now let me to listen to your Quran? And he recited Surah Al-Buruj in a way that it just gets you to cry. And I just left him. That was my first one, was the first encounter. The next one, which I said it the other day, which trying to get the top one of them is just for the sake of time. This young girl that she had the rocket came on their building. Her mom, her dad, and a few of her siblings, I don't know how many of them, they all arrived dead. And the neighbors, they came, they did, and she survived because she was like outside the house, so she's not there. But the damage that the explosion caused to her, and the shrapnels that gone through her, got her leg pretty much almost injured to be beyond being able to be saved, like when you see it first time. And she would be without her leg at the level of her hip, basically. So she would be just a body. Imagine it's a girl, young girl, just to be as a body. And I took her to theater, and you got her to sleep. She was not really that much of conscious. She's just shocked and in shock because of the blood loss, and in shock of the injury, so not really completely comprehending. So you can't talk to her. Got her to sleep straight away. And now you are in that situation. I was telling you, this is your sister, this is your brother's daughter, and you want to save her. And the thing is that the feeling is there. They said to me, she will be suffering a lot. She probably better if we do. I said, look, she's only between 9 to 11. The thing is that you cannot gauge their age because they lost so much weight. The facial features are of a much younger age. You can't really gauge this is an 11 or is it 9, or you don't know, and they're all skin and bone. I said, please, let's do our best. They said, you can't. What are you gonna do? We can't wake her up. I said, no, we can't wake her up. He said, there's no ICU bed. I said, I will do my best. And I started to talk to the people. I said, no, we need to save her. We need to save her. We need to save her. And then we found an ICU bed in another hospital that's an hour and a half from there. And they said, look, I'll stay with her until she is stable and she can go. But then when you hear that she survived, you just think that you actually made a difference. And she touched me because that she carried the same name of my daughter as well. So that is another one. The third one is that I didn't speak about it, but now you reminded me. Each week, each day we get about 3 to 4 people who are injured from the aid distribution centers, and that's who can make it to the hospital to be treated. They're injured by the snipers at the aid centers. In each week, the pattern of the snipers where they targeting the body of the men or the young men and boys, that they go to the aid center waiting for the aids, because they go there at the Fajr time, because the distribution is between 6 and 7. They start to shoot at them after the Fajr. Fajr is 5:15. Each week there is a certain pattern of shooting. 1 week on the head to kill them straight away, 1 week on the chest to get them injured. They can survive, they can maybe not make it. 1 week is on their belly, 1 week is on their private parts, on their genitalia, so they can be render will not have kids for the rest of their life. The week I was there, that was the injury. The last week I was there, that was the injury. The problem is that with these people, is not only they come, if they survive it, to treat them is very hard, because the bleeding inside their belly is so intense, and they don't have the means or the expertise how to treat the arteries or the vessels that injured in that area, because it is very vascular, bleeding a lot. And the minute you take them to theater, you open their belly, they die straight away, because the bleeding will just be out of control. To leave them, they just gasping in front of you, and you just don't know. Whoever survived it, which I have not seen many who survived, it breaks your heart. One guy who arrived and he was begging us to treat him, and he was lucky because they he walked to them rather than going out to come to us, and they put tourniquet on him, and he came with the people that they evacuated him to us. And we said, look, you either lose your leg. He said, just cut my leg, and the tourniquet was at the top of his thigh. Both his legs are absolutely blue, just gone. And he just begging you to just to do something, because he cannot. The pain from that ischemic, we call it ischemic leg, that leg that doesn't have blood flow, is so painful that is really he can't tolerate it anymore.
SubhanAllah. Any other questions?
Dr. Waleed, I'm Dr. Irfan. Just one question. I know in the active war zone is the surgeon, the emergency physician, and anesthesists which are most required. Now that we have hopefully the ceasefire holds, and we have some sort of, at least de-escalation, do you think there will be a role for physicians to play?
Sorry. Jazakallah khair, brother Irfan. They need everyone. At the same time, how much you can help them, you will help them to make a diagnosis and right diagnosis, and you're on the right path. But the availability of treatment is very limited, and you will be in the same scenario that we were in. We want to help them, but we don't have what we've been trained to help them with. So the degradation of the health system there is so massive. It's not only the hospitals being bombed, the doctors being killed, imprisoned, or pushed out of Gaza, or they are unable to provide the health care because they cannot even make it to the hospital or to the clinics to practice because it's too far or the means of transport is not there. The other aspect of it is that you don't have the medication that you can prescribe for them. You don't have any follow-up system for them. You don't have the blood test to order for them to make the right diagnosis. So they all come to the hospital out of, that is normal for us to come to the hospital, but they are really comforted by saying, look, I can't help you. I know the diagnosis, I can't help you. They say, Alhamdulillah, that's okay. It is what it is. I will be going. If I go, that's fine. Heart attacks, we see them in front of us and they die because we can't help them. We don't have any means to do it. Simple infections can go for days without antibiotics until we get the antibiotics, and then by then it's beyond the time to control. And you might have 1 or 2 doses, and you know that is not going to be enough for that. So what we make a dua for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, if the truth continues and the aids to come in and the medication to come in. But today I had the question from Amnesty International people. They said, what do you think is that? I can tell you on the scale of things what they need to get in. They say 600 trucks to come in. To get a proper medicine be practiced and delivered to them, you need at least 10,000 trucks to come each day to patch what being destroyed, what we're missing, and distribute it for 2 million people that they are all in need for this. So inshallah we will contribute, but at the moment you go there, it is still tight hand.
Jazakallah. Any other questions?
I just need that, and if you get out of this one and get that video ready, so I can. Yes, sir.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam wa rahmatullah.
Thank you very much. So I think most of us are commoner here, not doctors. So if you could explain how could a commoner or a normal person from Australia or from elsewhere
Yep.
would be able to contribute towards the Gaza?
Yes. So, Jazakallah khair. So what they said to me to tell you this. Okay. Now there's 2 sides, right? Okay. We'll talk about the other side. Have whoever is providing and supporting them, giving them the ammunitions, giving them the planes, giving them whatever they're giving them, okay? And caused what is caused. For the Gaza people, they have you and me and the people who are supporting them, and they are in billions. What they have is resilience, and in our deen they are doing what they can do by the grace of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that the barakah that is in there, the iman is in there, they are standing up. I have not seen single person there who is having their head down out of humiliation, or they're in despair, but they don't show it. But they're not humiliated, they're not defeated, they are standing up in pride, and they are showing you all the resilience. If they're showing the resilience, they want you to have the endurance and not to stop advocating for them. If every day that they are there in that hardship, you need to be here in that endurance for them. They are in the hardship that they are in, and they don't have means or medicine or food, and they want the hope that they go with be the hope for them, by keep talking about them and try to make dua for them, to make the hope for them. It has not stopped, it has not ended, it needs to keep going. Their needs for you is in all these aspects, that you never forget them. Now, yes, on top of that, if you can donate to go and donate and get the aids to them, that will be great. How much aid is going, I told you about it. Okay, so maybe we just need to do whatever you can do, because the charities are organizing all of that, and they might be holding, and they will be, once it's all open, they will push as much as they can. If you have zakat, if you have sadaqah, if you have more, then try to help them. Other than these three, and on top of that is the dua, that's all what we can do for now.
Jazakallah, Brother Waleed. I would like to also make one comment.
Yes.
Especially listening to those injured brothers and sisters saying Alhamdulillah despite of not getting the treatment.
Yep.
I work as a GP here, and it's one of the best health systems in the world. And every day we see when the patients are sick, not getting treatment, how frustrated they get.
Yep.
How verbally angry and aggressive they can get. And compare them to those brothers and sisters, it's amazing to see that difference.
It is. Well, yeah.
Telling us this.
I'm just gonna play a little. If you have no question,
Yeah.
Sorry. So I'm mindful of the.
Assalamu alaikum. Alhamdulillah, wassalatu wassalamu ala Muhammad wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. As the Professor said, there are no words that express our gratitude to you, Professor Dr. Waleed. MashaAllah, may Allah reward you. What you have done is a clear evidence and proof that you really love the people of Gaza, and a person, the most valuable thing to him is his own life. And mashallah, you have risked your own life going there. And if we think about it, even if a person wants to do it for dunya, let's imagine the worst case scenario. So there's no person is willing to risk his own life, his family, that his status, just for a few people. They say, mashallah, this person has gone to Gaza. And this shows, mashallah, your honesty, your sincerity, especially a person in your position and in your status. And this shows, alhamdulillah, it's an evidence that the khair, the goodness, is still in this ummah. And going there and coming back there, this is a blessing from Allah. And I believe by you going there and coming back to us, the barakah, the blessings that you have earned from there, inshallah, it will be reciprocated on the people here in South Australia. and on you and in your family on the day of judgment. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala reward you. Just a little question I want to ask you. So since you came back, has your perspective of life, so after all these horrible experiences that you have faced, so did your perspective of life here, did you start like has shifted a little bit, did it change a little bit, like compared to when you were here before you went there?
Jazakallah khair, Sheikh. Yes, and that's what I said is the message, it's Gaza message to everyone. What made these people to live their life like that, and you will see from the videos that I'll show you, they living in a tent, 80% of them, that's 1.6 million people living in tents. That's all what's left in Gaza. And their tents, you will see it is not a proper tent, it's just whatever canvas that they have. And it's surrounded, they are on sand dune, they have no toilet, they have no showers to have. They are coming, none of them is frustrated. They get bombed with all of that life that they have, which is not much, and they say Alhamdulillah. And for those who are about to die, they comfort them. They comfort us who came from outside to go there, that they are in a better place than here. From what they have to go to that stage, it's something Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had mentioned in the Quran, that they display it in front of us day and night, while it's only 15 days. If I stay there more, I don't know if I can change any observation, because it was so evident, because it was for everyone. They had that ayah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala إن الله اشترى من المؤمنين أنفسهم وأموالهم بأن لهم الجنة فيقتلون ويقتلون وعدا. So this ayah is a clear display. These people had sold the whole world, the whole anything. And subhanallah, I had the time that I was with my daughter, and we just came back and we just reading it, just opened it, and I said, this is exactly what I saw there. It gives you that thing, is that the world is this life worth nothing. Okay, if these people have given up and they're not frustrated at their current situation, or they're about to die, or someone else died, they all in the same iman, the same feeling, the same expression of it. The other thing is that I've mentioned it last night. You know, they in the tents. I have not, and I've seen so many went through the wards, whether it's an emergency that they come in a rush, or they are in the hospital in the stinking heat, and I'll show you what the wards looks like. I have not come across a single person, whether it's young or old, that they actually not nicely smell. They all don't display any and nicely smell. And the people there, they wanted us to go to the morgue, but unfortunately it's outside the hospital. They told, because when we said that to them, they said, wait until you come to the morgue and you will smell the musk from the people that they shuhada, that we keep them there for a day. If they didn't, because they buried them before the dark, and if some people died at night, they said come and smell it towards it, but we couldn't go there because it was out. So it is a feature that you read it about the time of the Sahaba or through the Quran, and it's displayed there. And if it doesn't rub on you, this is the message that I came back to you with, is that the people there, that's how they live their life, that's how they display the iman, and this is the message for everyone. from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That land is so blessed from the time that you go through that gate until you come out, that's the blessing in it. I will show you a few things here and I will comment on it. Oh, sorry. The first, that's at the crossing of Jordan. We're trying to get in. We had a delay. The first time that it rained for months in Jordan. So we were so blessed to be, and that's a message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to us and to me specifically. That is how it is. And is it running, brother? Where is it, brother? It's running. Okay. And these are these are the aids that coming into the crossing the border to help the Israelis. This is the no, that's at the border, Jordanian border, to go in there. This is the wall that they built to separate the West Bank. That's West Bank, and this is the rest of Palestine. That's the road to Gaza that we are about to get into it, and your heart start to beat. I don't know, 200 beats per minute, because you are just get closer. So that light ahead, if you see it in the distance, that's the crossing of Karam Abu Salim, and we just like a few meters about there. And now I'm saying that we arrived at Karam Abu Salim. They kept us for about an hour, and we just so eager, just we want to get across. And now we're crossing to the military point, because the commercial point was closed, so they took us on the back door, because after waiting for an hour they said you can't enter it, it's closed. This is what I said to you, the rugged road, that's Egypt there, and this is Gaza. And now we are in the convoy. This is the armored vehicle. It's about 33 cars, because the two previous missions to get in, they were not allowed to do that. Unfortunately, it's very dark, but I was trying to show you, these are you'll see the aids that have been thrown on the ground, if you can see it among the destructions, and how difficult to drive in these roads. Now you will see this is a red zone that people are not allowed to live in it, but the people, they really insist to stay in there as part of their, they don't want to be. And you will see them, they came out because they saw the cars, and they all came out just to, just like they are on an island that they don't see the people. These cars will go on Tuesday and Thursday, and they come and see them and greet them every time that they come through. But this time it was very late. They usually go in about 2 or 3 hours earlier, but they were so happy to see us. Like it's like a show for them. The kids were so excited to see humans for every 2 or 3 days, because they don't see anybody going to them and be with them. This is the first Fajr, that is the time that the call of the Adhan. This masjid is destroyed. This is how the people arrive in the emergency department. It's everywhere that they are injured, and these are the chaos that it is. The cleanliness of the hospital, it is outstanding, outside or inside. It is absolutely clean, like really clean. The minute that people get injured and this, they clean it, everything, and get it out. These are the kids that they've been injured by special injury. It's a special drone called the quadcopters, and they hit them in the back of the head to make them paralyzed with all the things. These are the wards that I will talk about the kids' injury in a minute. These are the wards outside. This is what's left from Gaza. It's just a 2 kilometers square called Deir al-Balah, and you see the tree, the palm the dates palms there, and this is outside the hospital. That's the safest area that they have. During the day they go about and they walk around to do their things. This is the area where they are going to be all coming in at night, because that's the press area. These are the people that they go and get, the ambulance people, and I did like a little salam. Unfortunately there's no video from it, and this is on the way out. I'm gonna go through it in a second. That's when we're leaving, because you will see the destruction that is gonna come ahead of us. That's the convoy that they're trying to leave. And these are the armored vehicle. This is the safe house in the morning, which we didn't see it, and it's full of that special dates. That's why they call it Deir al-Balah. And this is the now leaving Deir al-Balah, and you can see it is really nice area where they have all these. This is one of the oldest city in the world, Deir al-Balah. And it has not destroyed. This is how they live in the tent. Look at the tent, is just like a very simple canvases, and they put it together everywhere. This is a school that they still have it to function. You can see, can you live in that for 2 years? Okay, this is how they living. And these schools, although they are living in it, but it's a target at any minute. And I was so scared when we drove past it, but we were already given the clearance. This is Salah ad-Din, the street that you famous for. It's a landmark for it, and that's in Deir al-Balah, trying to leave out. See the people how they living. There is no toilets for them. There is no water. They everywhere, and you will see even more and more and more. Most of the people are living there, displaced from the rest of it. You can see it. So I kept recording it, because then it's the number of them is so high, and it's none of them in a proper tent that we believe. Now the destruction is gonna start. Look, this area was full of houses and buildings and towers, and now it's completely flattened. Unfortunately, I'm not good in turning the things. Look, this really, like they said, this is being like flattened in 6 months. 6 months took them to flatten all this area. There's nothing left in it. Not a single building standing, and now it's turned into people that they living in the tents that they are everywhere. This is a little street that is left from that Salah ad-Din. Look how the people, it's the sand dune now, that's called the Mawasi. Mawasi means the area where the sand dune is there. Do you imagine you can live and you don't have a mirror to look at how good you're looking at before you're leaving the house? How much clothes that it costs to buy that day? Look, this is how the people living. This is how much they gave up this world to stay there and live. And look how much they are meticulous in the way that they are, and none of them come to the hospital that they do have a bad smell. 2 years, not 2 days, not 3 days. Imagine how they are living their life, and it's not a proper thing. This is the water tanks that comes and give them the water. That's why they don't, and they have the goats that they're with them, and you hear, but the doctors, they know about this. To have the livestock living with you is a source of all sort of infection. We didn't say it. Okay, so there must be a mercy from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. At least that one is not happening with them. I thought I will show you that and the thing. This is how they living. And while you're watching this, I'm just gonna read for you a little letter that I had from one of the sisters from there. She is a year 12. That I had my computer that I donated for her, and she wrote me a letter and she made the envelope because of the hope that these people they have. Okay, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. You're a great doctor. With the continuation of the war for more than 2 years, or about 2 years, I've started to my iman started to be a bit shaken that there is some khair in this world, and so it's not iman in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, just that there is khair left in this world, and I have felt that everybody had disabandoned me or disabandoned us. But when I hear there is Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. But when I hear that there are some people like you had some humanity to come to leave the comfort and the security that they had in their countries and come to be with us in a place that it is the most dangerous place in this world, only to help us and to extend the hand for their brothers in Islam and in Uruba. That just to know that gave me a tranquility and comfort that and restored my belief that the khair do exist, no matter how much the batil, the wrongdoing has been having the upper hand at this time, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is with us and He will never forget us. Hasha Allah. That's why I thank you from the deep of my heart, because you are a human and because you didn't disabandon us and you wanted to help us, and you didn't have the same what other nations have done, which they blinded themselves from our suffering and our death, that you are here to be with us because you listen to your conscience and you have fulfilled your qasam as a doctor to help and to treat the people wherever they are, whatever their circumstances. As for your little present that you gave me, so shukran, and many times, not because of its value, but because it gave me the hope, because there are some future for me, and the dream that I have, and it was sure that it's been distant, it is still can be done. I want to get into to study medicine, and I have done all my hard work for that, but I have been delayed because I didn't have any means to study the medicine, because all their books are now is online. But I now have the computer, and I need to start to study the medicine. And even if the train has left me for 2 years not to be studying, but I can go back and study. This is a message from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, not from you, that should not give up, and you will get me back into it, and I will be, inshallah, like what you've done. I will help the people wherever they are and however I can. So jazakumullah khair.
5 minutes for Iqama.
Yes, that we go. That's it.
Thank you so much, Dr. Waleed, for this
So-
very inspiring and eye-opening session.
Just-
Now, just before we end to go for prayer, Dr. Muhammad Asif from representation from IMA would like to present an appreciation gift to you, Dr. Waleed.
Jazakallah khair. Sorry. Jazakallah khair. Sorry. I just want, because this is Khan Yunis, this is the moment that they will, I wanted to, there's no sound, but they hit the convoy with a bomb to stop us, because that's the red zone, but I couldn't play it for you, but alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah khair. Jazakumullah khair, brother. Jazakumullah.